What could you tell us about that, about trust and surrender? Like, not only, first of all, awareness is such a hard thing for us to accomplish, but once we can kind of start to pay a little bit more attention to our lives, how can we start the process of letting our lives unfold in more of a positive, more of a exciting way?
These are big questions. I mean, first of all, I think that, one of the things that people say to me is that, Aaron, you're so lucky you've had this happen to you. And I think that my life has been about walking through doors that have opened. And sometimes I've had to open them too.
Yeah.
I see the door's closed, but I've opened it. Um, and I look at so many people's lives, and I talk, whether they're friends or students, and they'll tell me something, and I'll be in the back of my mind, I'll say, like, don't you see that's a door that's waiting for you to walk through it? It's open. There are people on the other side wanting you to come through, and yet they stop themselves. It's not in either their awareness, or there's a lot of fear that is getting in their way. And for me, some point in my life, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I stopped being afraid and just saying yes to things.
Okay.
I'd rather say yes and follow my ass than say no and wonder what could happen. And I think there's a part of me that is more afraid of missing out on something.
Yeah. There. Yeah.
And that's just a paradigm that I have. But I also don't really see fear anymore. Like, I don't go like, oh, well, I can't do that because, what if I lose everything?
Hmm.
That doesn't enter my brain at all anymore.
Does that come with practice? Something that you've been able to make stronger throughout?
Yeah. I mean, for yoga, my teacher Swami Rama said that the number one lesson of the Himalayan teachers is for us is to overcome our fears. And if that's your only yoga practice, is to dissect and get over your fears, then you're doing a great job.
Amazing.
That's all you need to do, because how much fear stops us in our life from really living to our full potential, living to the fullest of what we can be and who we can be in this world. And um, uh, that just even the smallest little thing, like I'll give you one little example that, I live right in front of the ocean. I used to go swimming all the time
Yeah.
in the afternoons. And one afternoon I went down there, and this is a couple of years ago. I was walking down there, and I noticed that the waves were like really big. I mean, really big, not just a little big, really, really big. And I went, okay, no swimming today. And I turned around, and I walked halfway back up the pathway, and I stopped, and I said to myself, oh my God, you just walked away from something that you're afraid of. And I turned around, walked back, looked at the waves, took a moment, took a few breaths, and then I went in the water.
Wow.
And I did it because I knew that if I had walked away from that, then I would walk away from other things more unconsciously. So I think the first step is to just be aware of what you're afraid of. Like,
Hmm.
just start to acknowledge it, and then to, think about it in a logical kind of way.
Great.